Hello, it's Leanne Peters here. I'm from templeofbalance.com.au, Temple of Balance on Facebook and Temple of Balance on YouTube, and I'm here to pull some cards and share some guidance for this week ahead. That's this week starting Wednesday the 21st of December through till Tuesday the 27th of December 2022. Won't be saying that for much longer now, will we? So welcome. While you're coming over, I want to send out an extra special welcome to my Temple of Balance patrons. That's those of you who support me on Patreon, and also my Pillar of Light members. Thank you so much for your support, and also everyone who purchases something on my website. Thank you for your support, not only at the moment, but also for this year. Thank you so much. You've helped me be able to see another year through, and in February we'll be turning 18, so it's very exciting. If we can go to 2025, then we'll be having big celebrations here in Tasmania and also online for our 20th birthday. That's in 2025. So, welcome. It's lovely to see you all. If you're new to watching, welcome. What I'm going to be doing is using my combined deck of cards I've created, the Speed of Light and my Animal Kingdom Oracle cards. Hopefully I'm not going to keep having dropouts. I think Facebook is certainly doing some crazy shenanigans at the moment. So hopefully this will be nice and clearly streamed. But I'm using this combined deck of 110 cards, and I'll be pulling the cards, sharing the guidance from this deck for this week ahead. So I'm not pulling cards for individuals. This is general guidance for everybody. So I trust that you've been led here for a reason, and I trust that something shared supports you at this time. Hold on. I've got a cat who's got their foot stuck in my microphone. There we go. So yeah, just take on board what feels right and what resonates and what fits into your life easily at this time. The stuff that makes sense to you, take that on board and maybe work with it or reflect upon it, and let the other stuff go that doesn't resonate. So think of this as a guide only, and let's see what might be in store for us this week. So our theme for last week was Sacred Haven, which is all about gratitude and stopping and counting our blessings and stopping to smell the roses. So did you find yourself doing that much last week, or looking back, might that have been something helpful for you to have done last week? Maybe. I know I certainly was very much aligned with that energy, especially the last 5 days. So very much aligned for me. So welcome everybody. Let's grab our cards now for this week ahead. So I'm asking the cards to show us all, those of us who are here or connecting with the replay, what do we need to know for this week ahead, starting Wednesday the 21st of December through till Tuesday the 27th of December 2022. And I trust that the best cards that the majority of us need will make their way to the top of the deck. So the best cards for this week, this reading week, are these. Okay, let's see what we've got. Hopefully I'm coming through loud and clear. There has already been a glitch or two, so I'd like to know if you can hear me. If all else fails, I will end up over on my YouTube channel. So if anything goes missing or array, it seems a bit strange on here, but hopefully everything's coming through okay. So I've got 8 cards. We've got 5 Animal Kingdom, 3 Speed of Light Oracle cards, and I'm going to turn these over now. Okay, we do have a dragon, so hit me with your dragon predictions. We've got 1 of 5 potential dragons here in the spread. Fantastic, thanks guys. So which dragon have we got up this week? Is it the earth dragon, the water dragon, the air dragon, the fire dragon, or the spirit dragon? What do you think? I'll be talking about the dragon a bit later. So let's start with Wednesday, the 21st of December, and we've got the wolf, and the wolf is card 48, and it reminds us to secure our boundaries. So we might find, as we're around midweek at the moment, and maybe for some of you Tuesday, maybe even Monday, it might be really important to make sure our boundaries are secure and healthy and supportive for us at this time. There is a lot of demanding energy around at the moment, and it's natural for this time of the year. There's a lot of things on, there's a lot of things to do, there's a lot of demands on our time and things that we're running around doing, and everything lumped up all at once. So we might find that these boundaries are really important, especially boundaries that we might need to put up in regards to our time and what we're spending our time doing. We might find that if we can't, or we don't have time for certain things, that we've got to say, look, no, I can't do that right now. Or no, I can do that in a couple of weeks, or whatever it might be. So I really feel that this is a boundary thing, especially in regards to our time, where I feel like almost like time is caving in on some of us. So we have to sort of push that energy back, because we've got the same amount of time. It's just we might be having more things crammed into the minutes that are ticking through our day. So if you find yourself starting to become overwhelmed or is already kicked in, then maybe look at what you need to stretch out or push away or push back, and just say, look, no, I can't, I just don't have time for this right now. And really be realistic about the time that we do have available, and the time that, and whatever's priority too, because it comes down to that, doesn't it? So we need to work out our priorities so that we don't get overwhelmed. So if our priorities are taking up all the time that we've got available right now, then we don't really have much room for much else. If our priorities take up, say, 50% of our time, then we've got maybe about 50% available for other things that may be demanding of us, or other things that need to be done. So let's look at our priorities and look at putting up some boundaries around the way we spend our time at this time. Okay, moving on to Thursday, the 22nd of December. That'll be the solstice for us here in Australia anyway. And so the longest day for us, which is nice. And we've got the Ladybug, card 31. And the Ladybug says that it's a favourable time. So this is what I see as the good luck card in the deck. It talks about a period of abundance and it being a favourable time. We might find that we have a bit of the Midas touch at this time as well, and things seem to be sort of working out in general, especially the things that we're sort of aligned with or that we're meant to be doing tends to flow well, or there seems to be good energy around the things that are right for us, and the things that often don't, even though we think they're right for us, the things that don't seem to go well, or we seem to be hitting obstacle after obstacle, sometimes that can mean that it's not perhaps right for us, or it's not the right time for us to be pursuing that. Because when things are absolutely synced up and lined up, things will sort of drop into place so easily. It takes less effort to get things happening, you know, to try and meet up with someone, and we're finding delays and obstacles and setbacks, and we just can't quite cross paths properly. There might be a delay for a reason. When things are in good flow and that energy of abundance really is present, then we find that things seem to lock up and synchronize up quite easily. So this is that feeling of abundance and things being in good flow. And we've got this energy around for Thursday with the Ladybug. So good luck, the Midas touch. It may be a good day potentially to pursue things, especially if we have the energy to do so and things are lining up and we've got appointments or things already planned for Thursday. This may be a really great synchronized day. So it feels nice and it feels good to enjoy and appreciate that flow and that synchronization that we might see happening on Thursday. There might also be signs that we're being encouraged to pay attention to. So noticing the signs and the things that are really pointing us in a certain direction, and trust in the support that we have from the universe as we move forward in our life, as we close doors and as we prepare to open the new doors moving forward. Now, Friday the 23rd, we have card 47 called Persistence. and it says patience, solution, question, answer, and night. This is reminding us at this time, so not just Friday, but at this time, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, or later, we're being encouraged to be patient with ourselves, to be patient with others, to be patient when things are delayed or things are slow or people are trying to do their best, but maybe it's not really happening as easily as what we'd hope. It probably a little bit like what I was talking about for the ladybug, when things aren't in that synchronistic order or things aren't in abundance and things seem to be obstacle or delay after delay. So we might find that we need to be patient in some situation and some situations, and patient with other people, and also potentially patient with ourselves as well, especially on Friday, but in general at this time. So now is not the time to give up. So just because we've had an obstacle or two, or maybe a few, and we're like tired of these obstacles, it's not the time to give up. It's the time to be persistent, the time to be patient, especially if it's something that we feel and we know is the right thing for us to pursue or to move towards or go down that path. So if, sometimes if we've had enough of the obstacles, I know for me, sometimes if I've had enough and there's just, okay, this is just too much, this is not really happening, it's just red light after red light, sometimes I will actually wipe my hands of it and I'll say, right, that's it. I'm thinking about and doing other things now. I might come back to it later. In fact, often I do. But right now, it's just not working for me. So there might be something that, maybe you've been working really hard to keep going with, but maybe there's a point that you've reached now where enough is enough and you just need to step back, wipe your hands of it and focus on other things, and then reassess or come back to it in a few weeks or a few months or a few years, So that is not really giving up. I think it's just realizing that it's not really flowing right now. So maybe I'll come back to it later and I'll focus on the things that are working. I do tend to personally like doing that. Focusing on the things that energize me, the things that I'm curious about, the things that are working. Sometimes I'll need to push through some obstacles or some challenges, which I'm not afraid to do. But if I keep getting lots of stop signs or stop lights, then I might need to just focus on something that's flowing a bit easier, unless it's a survival thing, of course. So we're looking now at the weekend, Saturday the 24th. And we're probably going to be lumping here a couple of things together. So we're going to go Saturday and Sunday, the 24th and the 25th of December. And we've got these three cards for the weekend. So we've got Shelter, we've got the Echidna, and we have the Water Dragon. So I don't know if you guessed the Water Dragon. We'll come back to that in a minute. Let's talk about these in order. This feels to be like an aura or an energy or a glow that's connected with the whole weekend. So Saturday, Sunday. So it might come into effect at various times for you or just be a general kind of vibe around. So we've got card 51, Shelter. And it says to seek safe shelter. So this is talking about the home, or probably the home, usually the home, but it doesn't have to be. It could be your safe place where you feel you can go to in nature. Could be a vehicle or a room or a place that you like to go where you feel safe to be yourself. That's the key here. Where you feel safe, where you feel comfortable to be who you are in your skin. Sometimes that is not the home, even though we would like it to be. Sometimes we don't feel comfortable around the people perhaps that we're living with to be able to feel safe to be ourselves. We might feel like we're walking on eggshells a lot. So our safe shelter may be somewhere else. So there's this feeling of creating, or at least going to, even if it's briefly, could even be in our own heart, to find that safe place of shelter, that safe feeling of home. Basically the place where we feel comfortable and safe to be ourselves. And this is probably a big one, especially being Christmas weekend. So if you're going to be around family who you feel very self-conscious about, or you can't really be yourself around, and that's necessary. Yes, we can grin and bear it for a short amount of time probably, but there might be a place too that you might want to find a pocket of time, maybe on your way to visit family or your way back or in your home or wherever it could be, a room, a corner of your garden where you can maybe take some deep breaths and feel what I feel like is a reconnection back to ourselves, to who we are, also a reconnection back to our body, our breath, our hearts. You know, things have been so busy and so crazy, and I hear a lot of people saying, 2022 has been just a mad year. I've had a busy year, but it's been a good year. I haven't had any problems with it in general, but it has been a busy kind of changing time. So there's been a lot that's been happening, and maybe we've been so busy we haven't made time lately in these last weeks or even couple of months where we've been able to just stop and connect. So maybe there's a special place on the weekend where you can just spend a couple of minutes, just stop, pause, taking some big deep breaths, reconnecting with yourself, your breath, your skin, your strength, your ups and downs, the things that make up who you are as a person that probably no one understands. Even if we find one person in our life who partly understands that, then that's a bonus. Because there's really only one person, there's only really one person who should be able to get us, and that's ourselves. So if you're expecting other people to understand you, but you don't understand yourself, then there might be a problem there. So I feel like it's about reconnecting, getting to know ourselves again, or just reconnecting with what's important. So that's at some point over the weekend, if it's important to you. Also over the weekend, we've got card 19, the Echidna. And the Echidna says, don't dwell on the details. So again, probably a good one coming up for Christmas weekend. If you're around people, family that you don't tend to get on with, and maybe you don't see that often, who maybe press your buttons, you've been encouraged, don't take things personally. Don't dwell on the details. Just be in the company, be in the space, know that it's temporary, and then we'll be keeping on moving with our life. So this really is a feeling of don't take things personally. And also the Echidna, full of spines. So let's keep ourselves protected. And if we can make some time maybe before any gatherings that we're feeling a bit anxious about to reconnect with ourselves, or that space in nature, that space in our home or wherever it might be, and use that as a time to reconnect, but also strengthen and affirm our protection before we go into the lion's den, or before we're mixing and mingling with people we might feel self-conscious about or anxious about being around. That protective shield is probably going to be valuable for some of us too. So you could imagine that you've got this protective shield around you, and you're not going to take things personally. You're just going to enjoy the company and the time. Don't take it too seriously. Don't focus too much on the nitty-gritty details of things, of glances or looks, or someone not saying this or someone not saying that. Let's just be comfortable and reconnect with ourselves, but be strong going in. And also for the weekend, we have card 24, the Water Dragon. The Water Dragon says, diving into new depths. This highlights that it could be a bit of an emotional weekend. This is the Water Dragon. It highlights or is aligned with the water element, which can sort of align with emotions, creativity, sexual energy as well, can be aligned with that water frequency, if you like. So some of us may find ourselves quite emotional at various times, potentially over the weekend, but we can work with that feeling, that depth of emotion, to actually go deeper into ourselves. So I actually feel if we can keep our protection shield up and not be too pulled down by external things, including people around us, or what this time of the year represents for us, and the things, maybe the difficulties we've been through, maybe the anniversaries as well, or the people who aren't here this year. There's a lot that can really pull us down at Christmas time. So keeping our protective shield up nice and strong. I feel like this is a really potent time this weekend to reconnect with ourselves. So not only with our breath and our heart, our body, the things that are really important to us, who we are so we can get to know ourselves better, but also our depth of emotion, our depth of feeling, our depth of empathy and compassion, and the kindness and the truth and the honesty and all the things that are really important to us that we feel, that we know about ourselves. And really sitting in these strong aspects of our personality and seeing them as strengths and feeling them as strengths. We don't have to go pushing them or preaching them onto others. All we need to do is just be comfortable in our skin, understand ourselves as best as we can, and maybe follow the calling to understand ourselves deeper. And there is that calling that's probably going to permeate into us throughout the weekend at various times when we have time. Is this almost like a call from the depths, like sound waves coming up from our deep inner oceanic realm or deep within the earth that are calling us inward and calling us deeper. And really the key to going into those deep places is through feeling and really sitting with how we feel, whether they're good feelings or not so good feelings, but sitting in those, asking them or asking ourselves why we feel this way, when did it start, and really diving into facing those emotions instead of maybe a tendency to run the other way. So there is a really important potential reconnection available to us this weekend. That's the feeling I have here. So that's for the weekend. Now moving into Monday, the 26th of December. And we have the Tree Maiden, card 42. And it says ending, surrender, growth, and illumination. This is a potency. This is something amplified or illuminated, something under the spotlight or under the magnifying glass. Something that might seem quite loud and big. And I feel that this is going to be especially appropriate for those of us who don't make time to reconnect with ourselves on the weekend. Those of us who do take things personally, those of us who don't prepare ourselves as we're stepping into family gatherings or whatever we might be doing, or what this year means to us. Those of us who don't prepare or make even a few minutes of time to reconnect may find that by the time we get to Monday, that things are so intense and amplified. So everything, well, especially the things that have been trying to get our attention, might be quite big and maybe even blown out of proportion by the time we get to Monday. So hopefully instead we've made the time to reconnect over the weekend. If we get to Monday and things are loud, then it's because they're trying to get our attention, these things. So what is it that's trying to get our attention? And what is this intense feeling that we feel, and why do we feel it? When did it start? What's the underlying issue here that this feeling is like rebounding off sort of thing, or rippling out from? So this card not only amplifies, but it highlights endings. So things may be coming to an end. There may be a door we need to close in our life. And it also talks about growth. So growth, as we let the old door close, allowing ourselves to grow stronger within ourselves, within our core. And then we move to Tuesday, the 27th of December. And we have the Yogi, card 32. And it says, Epiphany, learn, lead, and comprehend. So this is the penny dropping. So if we haven't got it by the weekend, if we haven't got it when Monday is potentially intense, then Tuesday we're probably going to find something drops into place where we get that epiphany, that aha moment, the light bulb moment where we get it, you know, and we see, oh, that's why I felt that way, or that's why I had to do it in that order, or that's why I had to cross paths with that person, or that's why I had to go through that situation, and something drops. And it is quite exciting, quite motivating to have that epiphany and that light bulb moment. So that's probably going to drop in for some of us. If it hasn't already by the weekend, then absolutely, potentially by Tuesday. So let's allow ourselves to shift perspectives on what we've been struggling with or how we thought was a certain way. Maybe it's not a square the way things we thought was a square in our life or this situation. Maybe there's a different shape here. So we're being encouraged to look at everything in our life from the weekend, if not earlier actually, from a different perspective. So a different angle, ask ourselves questions, understand why or what is the issue that's underneath that reaction that we had or whatever it might be. So the penny dropping, some of us also might be encouraged or inspired to get ready to learn something new. So there might be something new we want to learn, a new hobby or something we want to try, and just see what happens as we step into the new year. So this is quite exciting. So a lot of inner time I feel this week, potentially. So let's see how things unfold. So thanks for joining me. I'm going to pull a card as our theme card in just a minute. Before I do, I want to thank you so much for joining me today. Hopefully this has come through loud and clear. If you have enjoyed the video, please hit the thumbs up button. Please show us some love. Please comment or share if you're inspired to. And if you would like to connect more privately, please send us a message through our website. So we have our solstice gathering happening tomorrow in less than 24 hours. That's for members. So it's free for members if you're a Pillar of Light member, or if you support my work on Patreon, then you should already have a link to join me on Zoom tomorrow for our solstice ceremony. So I look forward to connecting with you then and seeing you and chatting with you in person. It's always lots of fun. So I look forward to connecting with you guys then. If you want to be a part of it, it's not too late. So please have a look at becoming a member in the next sort of 12 to 16 hours, and then we'll send you the login details. Also, you'll find lots of resources, readings, healing, pendants, earrings, meditations, artwork, loads and loads and loads of things on my website. I've been doing this for a very long time, so I've collected a lot of resources, including the cards I've just used are available on my website. Please have a look if you would like to further connect with my energy and what I do here at Temple of Balance, or if you would like to support what I do so I can keep being here, then please, your support is essential. Please have a look on my website at templeofbalance.com.au. And a little birdie might be telling you that I've just opened only four January video readings, personal ones on my website. None of them have been taken yet. So if you're interested, take a look, go to templeofbalance.com.au and look at store, everything in store, and you should see it there first up on the list if it interests you. But please check out my website. So let's now look for the best card for the theme for this week ahead. The theme for Wednesday the 21st of December through to Tuesday the 27th of December 2022. The last full week actually of the year as far as the reading weeks go. So I'm looking for the best card for the theme to help us see the bigger picture for this week ahead. So I would say quite a theme would be, let's keep perspective, let's reconnect with ourselves, let's keep ourselves protected and our boundaries strong, let's be patient, let's be willing to change. That's also a powerful one that aligns with what I'm feeling for this week. So the best card for the theme is this. It's an Animal Kingdom Oracle card, and it's the Serpent, the Rainbow Serpent, card 44. And it says, take it to the next level. So are you ready to take yourself to the next level? Because when you take yourself to the next level, your life goes to the next level. It's funny that actually as we practice like the things I've been talking about this week, as we reconnect with ourselves, we might think it's like counterintuitive. I want my life to be better. Why would I focus on improving my connection with myself? Well, it does. It ripples out. The improvements come into our life once we improve ourselves. So this reconnecting, this almost not pause or stop, but making some time. It doesn't have to be a lot of time, but maybe even lots of little bits of time over this next week, especially from the weekend, to reconnect in the way that resonates with us. We're all different, so we're all going to do it in a different way. As we reconnect with ourselves, this is the springboard that will then help propel our life to the next level. So if you've been looking at improving your life and you want things in your life to be better, maybe take it back, rein it back, and look at how can you help yourself be better? How can you understand yourself more? How can you reconnect with yourself in more supportive and nourishing ways? How can you create more meaning and purpose and substance within yourself? Because it automatically ripples out into your life. It doesn't happen the other way around. In fact, that's usually when we reach or find obstacle after obstacle, is if we're trying to fix our life, but we're avoiding fixing ourselves, because whatever is happening in our life is often reflecting or rippling out stuff that we've got going on within ourselves. Our issues are reflected in our external world. So we might not think we've got any issues, but if we find this problem and this problem and this problem are all similar and they're coming at us from different angles, and why does this always happen to me? Why do I always attract this sort of person? The one common thread, if we are allowing ourselves to see and be willing to change, the one common thread in this is us. So what is our problem here? What is our issue? This is the type of thing that we'll probably be exploring this week. So if you want to take your life to the next level, look at how can you take yourself to the next level, and your life will respond to that. Your life will go to the next level in response to your willingness to improve yourself, to release your issues, to release your chains that you've been trapped or contained or pinned down by. So this is an opportunity to really shift those things this week and potentially take ourselves to the next level. So, and the key really is in the heart, and really getting to the heart of our issues, the heart of our problems, the heart of ourselves, the heart of our personality. What is the heart here of this issue? And that will probably be a key in helping us understand what's going on. So thank you so much for joining me today. Have a fantastic week. Have a Merry Christmas if you celebrate or enjoy. Well, it's summer here, so it's like summer, yes. So I know for me, I've been really enjoying summer, and just things have stopped now with a few commitments that I've had. So I've just been enjoying summer and the long days, and it's beautiful this time of the year. So enjoy your week. Thanks so much for connecting. Thank you for your support this year as well. And I will connect with you again very soon. Take care and namaste.